Hey guys, Shane Watson from silverladder.com here in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I want to talk to you about something called the Hope Dealer Project through PlusP Productions.com. And this video is going to be a little different, hopefully, from some of the videos that I do in that I want it to be a little bit more conversational. I get way too focused on my videos being perfect. I don't expect perfection of other people, but I get to be a little bit too much of a perfectionist with myself when it comes to my videos. I tend to go back and I take, I do 10, 15, 20 takes, whatever it takes to get it like perfect. There is no perfect. So I'm not going to try to do that today, but what I want to do is I want to tell you a little bit about the Hope Dealer Project. It is through PlusP Productions. You can find their website at pluspproductions.com. And what the Hope Dealer Project is it's based around a chip. It basically looks like a poker chip, but it's called a Hope Dealer chip. And each chip has a unique number on it. Now, my chip is number 459. I don't have it with me right now. But the idea is to share your story. A lot of people that are a part of this project are sharing their story on social media. Through Instagram, they're sharing it through pictures or through written stories. Drew, the guy that's heading up PlusP Productions, says he hasn't gotten as many videos as he would like, so he's asking people to do videos. But basically what it is it seems to be a lot of people in recovery. Many of them seem to be in recovery from substance abuse issues, which that applies to me as well, or recovery from other issues. And they're taking their personal experience and they're getting this chip from PlusP, which is free, by the way. Go on the website, click on Hope Dealer, and get your free chip. And they share their experience about what hope means to them, who or what gave them hope, and what their struggles were, what their experiences are. And then the idea is to take that chip and to give it to somebody else and to pass a little bit of hope onto that person. And then the idea is that chip moves on from that person to the next person to the next person, etc. And hopefully along the way, people share their experiences with one another. They help one another, etc. And also, reduce stigma and taboo around things like substance abuse recovery and just get a dialogue going. I think it's a great idea. And again, this is costing Drew and costing PlusP Productions money. And they're giving these chips away for free. But there's a bigger picture here than money for sure. So anyway, Hope Dealer number 459 here. I don't have my chip with me. It's at home. But what does hope mean to me? I'm going to try to keep this simple. Hope just is the idea that things can get better to me. Hope is the idea that no matter how bad things get, that there's still a potential that things can get better. That there's a chance, there's an opportunity, there's something left on the horizon. No matter how dark the present moment may look, it can still get better. And that's what hope means to me. If you're not familiar with my experience, my story, I will paste it in the description of this video. I'll paste the link to my story at silverladder.com, or you can just go to silverladder.com/blog and you can find my story under my story of addiction and redemption. I think that's what it's titled. So anyway, hope, I want to keep it simple. I think that's it. I think for me, it's just the idea, the belief that things can and will get better, no matter how dark they've gotten, no matter how bad they've gotten. Who gives me hope? More than anybody else, my daughter. My daughter is someone that came along a little bit after a year, a little bit just past my 1-year sober date. And she gives me hope that everything can be made new. Her middle name is Grace, and I've talked about that in another video that I was featured in. Look it up on YouTube, Shane Watson, Finding Grace. Chris Heck did an amazing job creating that video. She made everything new to me. And grace is that unmerited favor that we don't deserve, but we get anyway. And my daughter gives me hope that things can be better. That things can be not only better, but things can be amazing. That somebody like me, who was an addict, somebody that struggled with methamphetamine and alcohol and heroin and cocaine, can not only be sober, but have an amazing little person that's made things new and just incredible again. My wife gives me hope. My wife gave me hope through a lot of forgiveness and showed me a lot of grace as well. Who else gave me hope? Well, when I was in jail, I was visited by Pastor Walt, who heads up Church on the Street at the Phoenix Dream Center, and he also does church services in correctional facilities. Now, he knew my family because I had actually helped part of a nonprofit called Boundary Breakers that my cousin Mickey used to run, and we would take clothing donations down to Church on the Street. So I actually helped him from that side of his organization. But here I was, But here I was incarcerated in Durango jail in Phoenix and thinking that my life was over. My life had come crashing down. Again, if you know my story, you know how bad it got. And he came to jail to do a church service, but he knew that I was there. My family had informed him that I was there, and so he came to visit me and pulled me aside. We sat and we talked in a common area outside these 4 pods in Durango by a guard gate, by a guard tower kind of thing. And, he started talking to me, and, he asked me a couple questions. And I told him, I said, my life is over. My life's done. I said, my family, everybody's done with me. I have messed up badly enough this time that it's over. And he gave me hope. I mean, in my darkest moment, he was the first person to give me hope. I remember vividly what he said to me. He said, your life's not over. You need to get your head out of your butt. However, your life is not over. That's his exact words, which are pretty funny coming from a pastor. But if you know Pastor Walt, kind of a salty old guy, quite a character, a little bit rough around the edges in a very good way. But anyway, he gave me hope. He said, your life's not over. He said, you need to get it together, and we want you to come stay with us in the Dream Center for a while to get sober and get your act together, but your life's not over. And I believed him. And for the first time and since everything came crashing down, it made me think, wow, okay, maybe it can get better. And then another person that gave me hope was a guy named Brandon Bird. As a result of the decisions I made the last night I drank or used, I ended up a convicted felon. And my college degree and years of experience are now virtually worthless because most employers won't hire felons. And I had, forget trying to apply for something having to do with my college degree. I was getting turned down for unskilled warehouse labor. People were telling me left and right, we don't hire felons. So this guy, Brandon Bird, overheard me talking to somebody else. Kind of in a weird situation, a strange environment. He heard me talking to somebody else about my frustrations, about being a felon and not being able to get a job, and saying, listen, I understand why companies don't hire felons. I get it, I do. But people can change. And whoever gives me a chance is going to get 100% from me. And so Brandon overheard me, and he said, listen, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be eavesdropping on your conversation. It sounds like you have a felony. Do you have any public speaking experience? And I said, I've got a lot of public speaking experience. I had a lot of college experience, and I also hosted a radio show. I had been working in broadcasting and stuff like that. He said, do you have a story to tell? And I said, oh man, do I have a story to tell? He said, well, there's this place called Not My Kid. You should go apply. And I'd seen the building, had driven by and seen the big logo on the big glass building. And I said, yeah, I've seen it. I'm actually passed by the building. But I've got a felony. And he said, yeah, I know. I heard that. He said, but do you have any crimes against children? I said, no, don't have any crimes against children. Because obviously the organization, Not My Kid, if we go in, we speak in schools and to Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts and Boys and Girls Clubs and things like that, we can't have people with crimes against children in the organization. I said, no, I don't have anything like that. He said, are you a year sober yet? And I was only 9 months sober at the time. He said, well, go and apply. Get to know them, get your foot in the door, and then they'll give you an opportunity at a year when you're sober. And he gave me hope. He was one of the first people, maybe the first person that gave me hope that, wow, maybe I can have a career. Maybe there will be an opportunity. And then once I was at Not My Kid, once I applied and I was interviewing, the then executive director, Jill Woods, gave me hope. She gave me a job. She gave me a foot in the door. She gave me an opportunity. And that just opened the floodgates, and here I am 4.5 years later, a full-time prevention specialist. I've done close to 350 speaking engagements in the last 4.5 years. I'm a registered assist suicide intervention trainer. I've been to New York representing the organization, Boston, California, etc. And it's because along the way, a few different people gave me pieces of hope, and that all built together as a collective is an absolutely amazing thing. So I want to pass that on to you. If you're out there, if you're struggling, if you're having a difficult time, things can get better. Do not fight your battles alone. Don't feel like you have to. There are people out there who care about you. Genuinely, there are people out there who want to help you. And there are people who are willing to sit and listen and not judge and actively listen to what you're having to say and what it is that you're struggling with. Find those people. And if the first people that you talk to don't take you seriously, or they judge you, or they don't listen, move on until you find those people who will listen. So this is Hope Dealer number 459 here, passing along a little bit of my experience, passing along a little bit of my hope. Don't have my chip with me. However, this is my story, and hopefully the next time you hear from Hope Dealer 459, it's somebody else, and that chip has been passed on to them. Big thank you to all the people I mentioned in this story who've given me hope. A big deal to Drew from PlusP Productions for creating such an awesome campaign and a cool idea. And best of luck. God bless. Thank you.